Rolling. Right. What's up, guys? How you doing? Bonnie here. So, what do we have on today's menu? We have how to generate as much gold as possible and as quickly as possible. I don't really have scripts for these type of videos or whenever I make videos in general. I just kind of let my mind run loose. So, we're going to join into a match, and I'm going to show you what I do the moment that I enter a match, essentially. So what the goal is, whenever you enter a match, you guys just gotta be like ready for action, you know what I mean? So you gotta have in your mind already like what your gun is going to be. So in this case, let's say I'm going to go for a hand cannon level 1 and I'm ready to roll as soon as the timer starts. Because why this is important is because we want to get onto the specific lane that we want to go on as quickly as possible. Why that's important is because we want to acquire information. We want to see, okay, who's coming on that lane, who's going to be our opponents, and then if they're in a bad position, perhaps we're going to kill them. But in this game, we're going to mainly be focusing on farm, because farming is what generates us the most gold with the least risk as possible. And basically, what are some ways that we can farm, and what can we kill in order for us to generate gold? Well, we can farm minions, we can have farm players, and we can farm like jungle monsters as well as turrets. Um, I'm not going to focus so much on like killing people because that's obviously the hardest part to do, and you don't necessarily have to do that. I like to do it; it's fun for me, but you don't have to kill people in order to be efficient in this game. You can be just as annoying as somebody going 20 kills. And I'm going to show you how. So, what do we want to do first? We go to lane, nobody's here, we wait for the minions. We want to kill minions as quick as possible, because then if we kill the wave as quick as possible, then this allows us time to move around the map and do other things. So, I'm going to try and kill them as quickly as I can. It doesn't matter if I take some damage here. And then my minions are coming. I can either hit the tower if there is an enemy there. They have a wave to deal with. Therefore, this allows us time until the next wave comes to actually, like, for example, go on mid or multi-farm lanes if nobody is on mid. So if I go on mid quickly here, I can catch like an extra 2 minions or something. Well, almost, if I wasn't so slow and killing the other ones. I get these ones, and then I'm just gonna go back to the left lane. Very important, don't do what just did there with that last minion. Always you want to last hit the minions, because by last hitting the minions, you are the one that's actually getting the gold. And the thing is, if you're with somebody in a lane, or there's multiple of you in a lane, for example, you gotta think in this game, because essentially, if you're not queuing up with your team and you're queuing up yourself, matching you with 4 other random people, you gotta think of yourself as you're the best player in the team, and you're entitled to be allocated all the resources from the game. What I mean by resources is what all the things that give you gold in the game. You're entitled to all the kills. You're entitled to all the minions, no matter who it is in the lane. Yeah. So if you're with 3 other people, just either wait for them to do damage, or just wait for the exact moment that you can steal that minion and get the gold, get the resources on yourself. And because this guide is going to show you how to perform the best possible as an individual player, as in like you will be the carry of the game every single game. And by doing so, in order for you to be the carry of the game, you have to farm efficiently. We want to generate as much gold as you possibly can, because again, going back to the mindset, we want to have the mindset as if we are the best player in the team and in the game, because only that's how we're going to win and actually carry and actually snowball the game. So again, we want to farm and last hit those minions. So let's say I'm waiting for this minion. You gotta learn a little bit how much damage each gun does at what specific level. So for example, here now I can one-shot that minion, but at level 1 with a hand cannon, if I try to one-shot it, if I headshot it, for example, this one that is full HP, or this one that's full HP actually. Well, like I'm not going to one-shot it regardless. Like you see, I do 37 damage. The minion has about 40 HP, so I'm not going to one-shot it. So therefore, you gotta learn all these all these things basically. How much damage your gun does at level 1, how much damage it does at level 2, and so on and so forth, and how quickly, or like when is the exact time that you can last hit a minion in order for you to last hit the minion and get the gold. A general tip again is how to behave in a lane, for example, is the main idea is kill the minions as quickly as possible. So if nobody's on the lane, you want to begin as close to the enemy tower as possible. Therefore, you're kind of meeting the enemy minions from a distance. Obviously, don't do what I just did, like getting killed, because I'm talking to you guys, so I can't really pay attention to actually farm optimally as well, because got his hand gestures and all that. So as you see here, I'm kind of coming really close to the minions and trying to get them without actually minimizing how much damage I take. And then between, for example here, let's say I want to push, I get some hits in, and if you look at the minimap on the left hand lane, the minions, my minions are just approaching tier 1 tower. Therefore, because the minion timings are mirrored on the enemy team, the minions are going to pop right now. Because if my minions are at tier 1 tower here, that means the enemy minions are at tier 1 as well. So therefore, this is how I know exactly when minions are coming and when there is the opportunity for me, for example, to kill the minions. So after this tower, we're going to see minions coming in. And then I can do this. Just get the wave quickly, and then I have time to actually reposition. So for example, there is more minions coming in right here. I've just killed the enemy minions, so now what this allows me is time to move around the map. Either do a jungle camp here with a hand cannon, and level 2 is quite hard because I'll lose a lot of HP, especially if I don't have like abilities and so on and so forth. But there are certain guns that you can like do this camp, for example, efficiently, or rotate towards like mid or any other lane, or go to where the fight is happening in order to contribute. Because if the enemy is matching what you're essentially, if the enemy is matching your movement there at the exact time that I've left the lane, well, he's going to be missing on that goal because he still has my minions to kill. Because I was pushing into him, I've took already the wave of minions coming in, but he didn't take mine, for example, if he was pushed into the tower or he hasn't arrived on the lane yet. Therefore, if he matches my movement, he's going to be losing on potentially either, well, between 200 and 300 gold, depending if we have a big minion or not. So these are very important things that you gotta think about every single time you're pushing a lane. Get the minions as quick as possible, and then rotate to wherever on the map, depending on the situation. Either push or rotate. Right now, the enemy, if there would be an enemy, he'd have to clear that way. Yeah? And then again, because there's minions here tanking the tower, we have a wave of minions coming in just now. I can quickly get them, and then again, there is a wave coming in of mine, but he doesn't have a wave anymore because I've just killed it. So he has to deal with it. I don't, because I've already killed it. Yeah. And then again, you can do jungle camps or rotate. This is the most the most efficient way that you can farm. Always kill waves as fast as possible, because then you have priority to rotate to an objective on the map, or a kill on the map, or putting pressure elsewhere if you cannot put pressure on that specific lane that you've just killed the minions on. Yeah? All good? All good. I'm going to share to you guys one more tip as well. In the beginning of the video, I said that you don't necessarily need to be all over the place and kind of kill people. You can be a very, very big annoyance if you just pick one lane and split push. Split push means that you're split from what your team has gathered. So let's say you have 4 people in the mid lane and there is yourself on the left lane. Well, if nobody's coming to match you, then they're going to be losing resources, because there's only so much minions those people can share on any other lanes. You're taking all the gold here. There's nobody stopping you. So in this case, you got free will to push. Yeah. So if there's nobody matching you, there's free gold for you, and they're going to be losing resources. They're going to be losing minions, and they're going to be losing obviously their towers if they don't match you. So you can do that all the time, non-stop, and then eventually there's somebody has to come and match you. Otherwise, they're going to be again losing resources and losing their base. So this is very, very efficient, especially because at the early skill levels, like people don't really tend to use the minimap, or by the time that they do, they're going to be already too late because you've already might have taken like half the tower, and then in the next push you're going to take the whole tower, or you've already taken like X amount of waves over that specific person because they were wasting time like fighting pointless fights in mid lane that they've not accomplished anything. So when we're talking about gold generation and gold efficiency, this is the most efficient way that you can actually generate gold. Steal minions, steal kills, and be where the enemy is not, or have priority and be there quicker than where the enemy is not. Because again, if you kill the wave quicker than they do, then again this leads again to priority in your court that you can use to apply pressure somewhere else on the map. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, just type in the comments that doesn't make sense. I will insist on this topic because it is quite a hard topic to understand and like applied correctly in games. There's certain scenarios. Sometimes you gotta help the team and so on and so forth. But in essence, the most efficient way for you to contribute to a team is to apply pressure. Apply pressure on a specific lane, because people will forget about you. People will forget that you exist on that specific lane. They will just be distracted with other things. Where else you're generating gold and applying pressure onto maps. If somebody doesn't match that, their base is gone and they're already falling behind. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Write in the comments if you didn't understand anything, and we'll see you in the next one. Maybe next one is going to be wave management. By wave management, we're going to be talking about how to actually manipulate waves and how far you should push certain waves before actually rotating, and if you're getting pushed in and so like you'll see in the next video. So take care guys, see ya.